Aries, this is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your new moon in Gemini that occurred over the weekend meditation. This is an opportunity to explore the energy of the new moon in Gemini, a little more specific to any Aries placements that you choose, or any of you that are drawn to this reading are welcome. I'm going to be doing the extended reading after this following. The information, the link to that will be in the description box below. And in the extended, we will explore some of the energies and issues that come up during this reading. So if you're resonating with this reading, if you find it useful, please like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate your comments particularly, and your shares, your donations, all of the support that you give to me, all of the energy that you send to me is deeply appreciated. So let's get started, Aries, with your overall energy for this reading is the Two of Swords, showing me that you are making a critical decision right now. You are exploring the best way to communicate a message, to share information that you have, or to explore options, opportunities, or offers that are being made to you at this present moment. There does feel to be an opportunity that would take you outside of your familiar area of comfort, and it reflects quite possibly on something that is demanding that you be brutally honest with yourself, extremely honest in a way that is difficult, even challenging for you, to look so closely at your own attitudes, your own beliefs, your own patterns of behavior with regard to this particular opportunity in whatever area you're experiencing it. And because the third house in your chart is being highlighted by the new moon, that is really the area of communications, the way that you're processing information, the way that you're learning or you're requesting, seeking more information that's going to help you make a decision. This card overall indicates that, in fact, that is the basic message, is to look more closely at the details, look more intently at the offer that's being made, at the choices that you're making, the options you feel that are available to you, in order to recognize that there are many more ways that you can go, many more opportunities than what seems available on the surface. So the more you explore, the more you ask questions, the more you stay in conversation or even negotiation, the more you learn about many more possibilities than are presenting themselves on the surface. For your sun and moon energies, we have the devil. This is going to be the sun. And the sun is indicating, of course, it's in Gemini, and we have the couple that appear in a couple of the major arcana cards here, appearing to be bound to this devilish looking energy. This is about, again, a deeper choice that you're making that is being superficially reflected in this immediate choice or decision that's before you. Underneath this particular choice, this particular opportunity you have, lies this much more difficult, challenging, even for many of you, painful options that you have that have conditioned your understanding of this choice, and this opportunity that you now have to break out of this conditioned, conforming way of understanding your physical reality. You're now understanding more deeply that the choice to break free and meet your own expectations, to impose your own needs and desires on a situation, to allow what you need and what you want as an individual, is more pressing and is shattering the kind of conditioning that you have been receiving. This conditioning is what is what has defined you for most of your life. And even if you have been in conscious rebellion, non-conforming against the standard, this set of identities or expectations that you absorb from your family of origin, your formative years, you are now recognizing that you've always had a choice, not simply to accept it or to rebel, but to challenge the really fundamental expectation that is embedded in this card. The way you were labeled as a child or as a student in school is still adhering to you in a way that is limiting your ability to understand the options that you have. But you are now understanding, as you look deeply here, that rebelling isn't sufficient to overturn this standard or frame of reference that you have worked within or outside of for much of your life. I hope this is clear, because this is a really deep message, and this is really about challenging yourself in a way that this opportunity may be asking you to dig deeper. The other card that represents the moon, both being in Gemini, these energies are joined. And it's interesting to me because the devil is representing in this reading kind of the standards of conformity, the conventions, the expected, and the ways in which you may have defined yourself within that standard, believing yourself to be in many ways independent of that standard, but truthfully understanding that you have operated within the conditional expectations that raised you, that informed your upbringing. You are in a place, you have moved to a place of resourcefulness, deep resourcefulness, a respect for your material comfort, stability, and security in the world. The desire to build safety is in part a response to this expectation that we come into the world, into a harsh and challenging world that is limited in the abundance that we can obtain or the growth that we can obtain. And your life experience actually is a little more fluid than that. You have learned to be resourceful on your own terms, and you continue to understand that the gifts you were given, even if they were a conventional set of expectations, were yours to fashion and form as your experience dictated, as your desires and needs indicated to you. And you're really, in an interesting way, this is a kind of complex message that's coming through. You are refashioning this framework, this expectation of ethics or a moral code or your sense of integrity based on your own experiences. And as a result of your really owning your own security, your own stability, your own independence, you are able to explore this opportunity, this decision in a way that is going to help you to look deeper into your own behaviors, your own patterns, to recognize the true liberation and opportunities that are before you that may not be obvious on the surface. In your present, we have the Five of Pentacles, and yes, there is a strong indication here that you are still laboring under a framework of a code of living, a lifestyle, an understanding of what can be obtained in the world as a result of the harshness, the difficulty of power in the world, and how we wrest what we need from that. You are releasing and changing, actively changing the conditioning that you received of lack, of limitation, of understanding that others received good things, good opportunities, abundance that was not designed for you. So at this particular time, you are really consciously seeking to realign yourself with the values that exist out of your own experience. And you understand that your conventional circle of community may not be able to supply the support that you need at this time. You're aware of that. But in order to change this, you realize that it requires more than simply exiting, leaving the room, leaving the building. And I'm hoping that this is resonating for some of you at least, because this is a larger social theme that I believe has been resonating throughout our current global pandemic and our efforts to heal ourselves and our communities by changing the values by which we are structuring our material, our realities, our material experience. So the sense of lack is no longer something that is credible to you, that you believe in, and that you understand that you can change this in a way that you may not have been exposed to through your conditioning, social conditioning. In the past, we have the Page of Pentacles, and this is really informing me that you are updating your sense of practical manifestation. You're understanding that and are willing to start at the beginning. You understand the basic appreciation, gratitude, and empowerment that the physical earth provides for us as physical beings in the world. But you are also open and willing to learn that anew, to structure that around the values and beliefs that you now understand are a function of a changed world, a world greatly changed, perhaps, depending on your age, from when you were brought into the world as within your family or your community, raised up. So this is really you taking this phenomenal strength and groundedness, this practicality that is a part of your behavior, your survival skills, and your appreciation of the abundance that exists in the world, and really refashioning that into changing this understanding of the world that is, in fact, quite abundant, limitless in a way that perhaps was not a part of your understanding or your family's understanding, and thus the way that you were steered into an independent life. So the world is changing incrementally much faster, and if you are a middle-aged or a senior, the difference in the way that we accomplish our well-being, our physical survival and well-being has changed, and you are willing and able to move into that changed reality. In the future, we have the Knight of Cups. And what is so interesting here is that basically the opening up of your ability to recognize new possibilities, new ways to do things is really helping to reshape your identity. It's reshaping your capacity for sharing, for understanding the idea of a collective experience that is supportive, that does not value simply material comfort and abundance as a key to stability and security, and that moreover, you are understanding a regenerated sense of safety. And the safety is critical now as you are engaging in the world and the way that you do things more creatively, more in line with who you believe yourself to be, understanding that you are not an outlier, that you represent the needs and desires of many citizens, members of your community, even siblings and family members. This is opening you up to understanding that all of the ability to share your resources and your your comforts, your material comforts, your possessions, your values are opening you to a higher, more joyful level of material existence. So this is really about a qualitative shift, regardless of the material resources you have, in recognizing abundance, recognizing what you truly need, and the more limitless capacity to be creative, to define yourself and the things that you pursue. I'm going to clarify the Five of Pentacles in your present with the Four of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Much of the reality that you are looking to change is not simply a sense of material impoverishment or limitation, but it is about your sense of health and capacity. So your health in the sense of understanding that you have been looking to change many of the terms of our existence on a material level. You're looking to shatter the conventions. You're looking to liberate yourself and others from the necessity of conforming to the cultural codes that we have lived by. And in order to do that, you've been doing a lot of soul work, a lot of recognition that you have come out on the other side of a very deep challenge. It may be a physical challenge, it may be a material challenge, it may be on the other side the receipt of some largesse, an inheritance, or a cultural heritage that you now feel that you have benefited from and are now participating in. Whatever it is, the processing of this information, the processing of the information you need to make the choices that are eminent in your life is requiring you to pull in and recognize how much you've grown, and helping you to establish a prayer, a meditation, an intention. And so this is part of, again, opening yourself up to the possibilities in the world. The Wheel of Fortune, rather than being a stroke of luck, it is more a buildup of positive karma, more a recognition of the abundance that is available to you in the universe, with which you can build, with which you can actually grow. You're transitioning here, as number 10s are so much about moving to a new level, but it essentially reduces down to the number 1, the number of the magician. So this is a higher octave of the magician. This is where you have experienced and are interacting with the collective, and your ability to level up, to receive and understand your perhaps struggle for survival in the way that you may have been conditioned to believe our experience on earth as a struggle to survive has been transformed yet again. Even though you may have lived beyond the conventions throughout many of your experiences, you're really understanding that at a higher level, that you're actually one of the privileged who are able to recognize the abundance and the opportunities that exist, particularly as a result of your growth, of your heightened awareness, and your ongoing ability to communicate this information in community with others who are also laboring under the same desire to change some aspect of your material experience. I am going to pull an oracle card again and am going to build an extended reading that will be linked in the description box below. I'm going to pull an oracle card, and here we have one that has jumped out at us. It is Golden Calcite, and the key word is inspiration. I'm inspired in all that I do. We're going to unpack some of this reading in the extended, but for those of you that are moving on, if this is where I leave you, thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe to my channel if this is working for you. I love comments, and until next time, namaste.